Hello, folks. I'm Josh McGee, back with another rendition of the St. Louis FC Spotlight. Today, I am joined by STLFC winger and the club's second leading goal scorer on the season, Russell Cicerone. Russell, thanks so much for joining me today.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Awesome. So let's go back and recap the amazing night that you guys had last week, last Saturday, final regular season game of the season, and you guys, a lot of implications going on the line. You guys were able to pull out the victory against Indy 11, 2-1 to clinch your guys' playoff spot. It was a close game on the scoreboard, but it seemed as though you guys were able to control most of the match. Talk to me a little bit about what you guys were able to do well to control most of the match and to come away with the win.
Yeah, I think it was a really great team effort all around, but I think we were really on the front foot in the first half. I think we had them kind of pinned in their zone. We were dominating possession, and for all that possession, it was weird that our goal came on like a counterattack, almost a misplay like that. But once we got the goal, we stayed on them for a little bit, but you could tell things started to change because they knew they needed to get a goal back. Then in the second half, when we got that early goal, then we knew that we were in a good position. We didn't put as much numbers forward in the attack as we had been, and it was almost like I don't want to say we were parking the bus, but we were batting up the hatches a little bit. But really strong defensive performance in that second half, and the guys really pulled it together.
So obviously there was a ton on the line, not just for this season, but for the future of the club, all of you guys. So of course, once that final whistle blew, you could see it obviously between you guys. The emotions were extremely raw. Take me through those moments after the final whistle had gone with your teammates. What were some of those emotions that you were experiencing?
Yeah, like you said, a lot of stuff had to happen for us to get that chance, and that when we got to put in that opportunity, we knew we were going to take it. So it was just nice to see our work come to fruition, and the guys spent a lot of energy in that game, and we were really proud of what we had accomplished getting in the playoffs when not a lot of people thought we would. So yeah, I mean it was a great feeling. Like you said, the emotions were pouring out, but we got a good group, a special group, so it's even more emotional when you do it with those guys.
So regular season concludes. It's probably the weirdest, in history of regular seasons, really, especially for you guys. And of course, for you personally, you start off the season so well with those 2 goals versus Miami. We talked a little bit about this before. Coming back into it and then continuing to grow into the season, what was that process like of getting back up to speed, finding your footing, not just from a fitness standpoint, but from a tactical standpoint? And, eventually growing back into the flow of what you had hoped to be a great season and end up getting one of the most important goals in the year on the road versus Indy, that 1 goal and that 1-1 draw.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it was really weird. It was really tough having to start off so hot and then have that massive break in between. So trying to get the team chemistry back, trying to get, like you said, our tactics back. It was a little bit of a struggle because we didn't really have any preseason games once the COVID break was over. So, I mean, yeah, it was an extremely weird season. It was a little bit frustrating when we started off so well, and personally, I started off so well to have that almost 3 to 4 month break. But like I said, the mindset of the group is really good. So every day we came in, we worked hard, we grew as a team, we grew as individuals, and we've worked ourselves into the position that we are now. So that's good to see.
So you guys come out of this extremely tough group, Group E, with the likes of Louisville and Indy and Sporting KC, all of which gave you guys tough matches along the way. And it's obviously a different schedule than you guys had planned on playing out. Obviously, you had the elongated one against a lot of different opponents. But seeing as how things have turned out well for you guys, is there almost a sense of pride, or I guess more pride in that you guys were able to come out of such a tough group instead of the schedule that had been originally proposed for you guys?
Absolutely. I think very few people would argue that was probably one of the toughest group in the USL. So to come out of that gives us a lot of confidence. It's prepared us really well for playoffs, I'm hoping. So I think, we do take a lot of pride in it, but I think it's also going to help us a lot too.
So I want to talk to you about someone specific, because I think if I ask this person individual question, they may not answer, but this person deserves a ton of credit. But I want to hear it from you specifically. Head coach Steve Trishu, coming into this season, being his first season with the club, what has he been most instrumental in terms of helping guide this team to the playoffs?
Yeah, I think he's just reassuring that we were taking one game at a time. That we still had a chance to get in the playoffs. It was in our own destiny. That we just needed to keep working every day. And even when things started to look down a little bit, when Indy needed just a tie or beat Sporting to get in, he had us coming into training, working hard, and it's a difficult thing to do, knowing when there's not that much hope. But he instilled hope into us, and he instilled the work ethic into us, and um, I think he's done a really good job.
So, and a part of that obviously would have to be with dealing with all the news that you guys had to deal with this season, all the obstacles, basically starting with the COVID pandemic. Then, of course, having to deal with racial injustice in this country and some of the responses that you guys had during your matches. And then, of course, the news about the club, this being their last year that they're folding after this year. With all that being said, you guys still make the playoffs. How are you able to deal with these obstacles? Was there a sense of that eventually motivation basically overcame pressure?
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said before, the mentality of the group is so strong. Experienced pros, even the younger players, they fall in line very quickly. And we got just a really good group, really good coaching staff, like you're saying. And so just um, the whole situation together. Yes, there has been a lot of stuff thrown our way, but I think it was very easy for us to combat it and to come out on top.
So obviously you guys want to have a long run in the playoffs, and you guys are well equipped to be able to do so. But eventually there will come a time when the season concludes and that St. Louis FC itself will conclude. You've had a little bit of experience in this type of situation dating back to your year with FC Cincinnati and their sort of transition towards MLS. A little bit different, but somewhat of the same scenario. Looking forward towards the future, how are you hoping that things shape up? How are you hoping to handle that basically a huge transition for your career?
Yeah, obviously we're going to focus on what we have to do this year, which is going out and winning a championship. But yeah, I mean the off season, it is what it is. So if you have a good season, and now that we made playoffs helps. If we have a good season, I don't think guys are going to have too much to worry about. Myself, I don't think we're going to have too much to worry about finding teams, because the teams want people that win, and showing that we can come out of Group E, get into playoffs, shows that we have a lot of winners on our team. So. I mean, yeah. I mean, every off season is weird in its own way, even if you have a contract just like that. But I'm confident about my future, and I'm confident about the rest of the guys' future on the team.
So let's get to the task at hand. This week, first round of the playoffs, you guys will be traveling on the road up to play Hartford Athletic, one of the top scoring teams in the entire USL, but also, again, having their first taste of the playoffs this season. What have you guys been working on this week? Basically, what do you think you guys need to do in order to advance to the next round?
Yeah, I mean, we've watched a little bit of film on them, but right early in the week, we've been extremely focusing on ourselves. I think we've been playing really well. So if we keep doing the things that we're doing, if we keep playing defensively like how we are, we're always going to score goals. We're always going to create chances. So I think we've been looking inward at ourselves, and we've had a really good week of training. And we got a confident group. We got an energetic group going into Saturday, so it should be really good.
All right, Russell, I'll get you here out on this. It's been a tough year, obviously, not having a full conglomerate of fans in attendance at these matches. Obviously, middle of the season, there were a few there. So it was really cool to see for that last match that there was a decent amount of support that had gotten into the stadium. You guys were able to celebrate in the corner at the end of the game. Now going onto the road, heading into your second playoff berth in the club's history. What did basically that support from last Saturday mean to you guys as you push forward towards this playoff match? And what message do you have for the fans who obviously probably won't be able to be in attendance en masse, but of course will be tuning in?
Yeah, I mean, even when they haven't been able to come to the games and stuff, we still felt their support, whether it was Twitter or other social medias, or just being around on practices and stuff like that. But I mean, their support all year and the last year I was here has been phenomenal. They're top class, first rate supporters. I mean, it was very nice that they were able to get into the stadium a little bit to celebrate with us on Saturday. But because getting into the playoffs is just as big of an accomplishment for them as it is for us. And I mean, all this could never have happened without them. All the guys we talk about, what good loyal support we have, even when some things weren't going our way during the season, we had a little bit of a down run. We always felt their backing, and they mean so much to us. They give you that ability to run a little bit faster, run a little bit longer, fight a little bit harder, and top class supporters, some of the best I've played in front of.
Well, Russell, thank you so much for joining me today. Obviously, we will all be tuning in this Saturday when Hartford Athletic play host to you guys, St. Louis FC. Russell, good luck this weekend, man. Thanks for joining.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, man. It was a pleasure.